conqueror, the subduer from the Shafia clan. I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When I supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth. You paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise then, I prostrate. With pure bodies, formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, flame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme silence, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Thus free like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Saviour having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of mirror with qualities like a vast ocean. To you, the one gone to thusness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime reality. To the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and who also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts. To you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all 3 ever devout homage. To all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms, atoms, and all aspects, with supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Page 15, the Heart of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time. The Bhagawan was dwelling on massive Vulture's Mountain in Rajagriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Bhagawan was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound perfection. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then, through the power of Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara: How should any son of the lineage train who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom, should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are emptiness, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no odor, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so on, up to and including no mind element, and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the 3 times also manifestly, completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment, and reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared. Tayata gate gate parasangate bodhisoha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Bhagavan arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom, just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Bhagavan having thus spoken, the Venerable Sharadvatiputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, those surrounding in their entirety along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Bhagavan. Page 25. Osashi Purki Chukshin Mito Tramri Rabling Shi Nidegen Padi Sangye Shingdu Nite Ulwa Itokunamda Chigma Chupa Jetsun Mamadam Pakenam Ichokukala Kense Jinjigne Jita Sampetu Chesinema Lazagye Choki Chapababtu So Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kaniryatayami Chodan Soki Chonam Pa Changchu Padu Dagni Keptu
Dāgī chūcīṃ kīpē sōnāṃ jī, dōlā piñcī sāñcī dōparāśu. Sāñcī chūtā sōcī chōnāṃ lā, chāñcū pādō dāni jāsōṃ. Dāgī chūcīṃ kīpē sōnāṃ jī, dōlā piñcī sāñcī dōparāśu. Sāñcī chūtā sōcī chōnāṃ lā, chāñcū pādō dāni jāsōṃ. Dāgī chūcīṃ kīpē sōnāṃ Lola Benji Sanje Dobraisho Kanga de Nizave, Lawaji Bamani, the Mission de Zeve, Godam de la Chazelo. Tony Ninjas on the Javela, Jesus, Evangelist, and Chanaka de Jazola, so the Session de Lush. On the Lama Ramoja and Dagi Ningle Meditation, Condition Connection on the Guzon to Jango de so. We will do some motivation meditation. acabado con va.
Now rejoice.
Now we will do breathing exercise. Now we will do breathing meditation. Okay, đó. Ngo Shevala. Yo mangbo chesong da ne yo mangbo chesong. Da ran rik dan shin rik swa. Ji kisin ran rik ko te she sa ri na yang ja de. La bu do. Da ran rik la de khala sa na khana khona chobe shewa tönjik khana khona da kanangda se de ne. Shevala ni kanangda che. Shevale shimbe chwe tan je la kachidas. Sukta di ro rik ja tu la chide swa. 어두스 라고다 단다 카낭 코나세 먼저 강배 낭 강배 치료세 그렇다나시 다 셰버 코나 유드 진이기 셰와 직당 아니 셰벌레 셴베 유숙다리로 렉잘라서가 유드 진이기 셰와 직 디제니 요레스 어디라고 요레스 봐
셰벌레 셴베 로거나 so we've talked about mind obviously a lot and various definitions of divisions of mind. Now just looking over what we've covered already, the self-knower and other knower. We've gone over it before, but it's good to just reiterate this self-knower and what that is. So it's a mind that only looks inward, or only apprehends inwardly. So this means inward here means mind. It only apprehends mind. So we have self-knower and other knower, or in a sense we have the self, which means mind itself, and then other knower is like the five sense consciousness which perceive other things, right? So the self-knower other than mind does not perceive anything, right? And so the self means mind, and anything that's not mind is seen as other.
어디 다들 세부시도 카나코나 초베 셔 튼지 당보다 이바당 같이 되게 셔 튼지 베나 왕어 잉어 내종 좀 똑바남 아니 같이 되게 셔 레스 셔도 어디
So as it says here, a consciousness which is directed only inward are synonymous. So self-knower and consciousness which is directed only inward is synonymous. And then we have other knower, which is a consciousness which is turned outwards, and these include mentals, sense perceptions, mental and yogic direct perceivers, and so forth. Conceptual consciousness, illustrations of the second one.
로릭라 양 로단 리발라 치면 다 먼저 셰발레 셰연도 조심당 심중세 저거라 다 조심 다 내가 전부 간냐레로 조심세야 심중세야 심딜라야 마여와 치연도 셰바딜라 여와 치연도 조심당 심중당 어디 베자로연도 계절 망고 통외를 조심레서 심중레서네 알아줘야 되긴 심 지게저 망고 셰되고라 초와서로 되어서 닝질래로 셰라블라서로 되자서 컨트롤러로 다 군조 신제서로 다 짐바서 망고께서 쉬고라다 다도저 추드나 되게 상마 셰버래 셰베나네 조심다 심중 어디제니나라 두고 요래서
So also when we look at mind, we can say that it can be divided into primary mind and secondary mental factors, right? Or main mind in this case, as it's translated here. So this comes up a lot if you read text or study. That talks a lot about this main mind or primary mind and secondary mental factors. You know, when we talk about things like wisdom and this sense perceptions, faith, and all of these things, obviously they're all mind. Right, and when you look at this mind, it can be divided into these two: this main mind and the secondary mental factors.
다당 뭐 조심 디치니샤도 와다데 치니라레 데치니로 치니 랑유지스로 조심 그 치니 가서는 랑유지 오오 진배고 내샤고에 조이 조남릭스로 조심 그 치니 다베나 가서 메도라고질라도 미식 메도라도 스타이온데 메도 다 ngobo medo le dang ngobo dan chewa yora medo kabo medo gloma medo chungju medo chima ane medo ningjo da de gi chejo mangbo je yora tinde ge samloma da je medo si je medo koran ji ngobo je yora ngobo de zo jinbe zo jinyi gi sheba de la da zo sem se yorda 좋아. 조진이 될. 유그 조진이 답변에 매도로 지금 매도고 뭐 조진이. 란유지 뭐 조진 말라다. 란유 뭐 거네 샤다. 유지 뭐 진배 샤네 샤온 거. 내 조심사 좋아.
That's all. So, looking first at this main mind and the definition, a main knower that is posited by way of apprehending the entity of its object. So what does it mean by this apprehending the entity? Well, if we take the example of the flower itself, the essence of that, or the main object, the flower, is what's apprehended by the primary consciousness. Then the various aspects, like the color, the shape, these things, these can be said to be the aspects of it, but the main or the essence of the object, that's what's apprehended by the main mind, right? So it talks about this essence of, here it says entity. Entity of the object, that's what's apprehended by the main mind.
조심 단대도 조심을 진이제로 다심 이 남시 도도 직벌에 셈다 이다 남시에서 어디에 상마다 조심게 민가 남다래로 직벌에.
Then it goes on to talk about mind, main mind, sotsem, mind, sem, sentience. Perceiver, namshe are mutually inclusive and synonymous. Yes, synonymous. Tonchuk. One meaning. So then it says of these main minds, there are divided by way of 6. So eye, ear, nose, tongue, and auditory consciousness, and also then the 6th one, the mental consciousness. So these are these 6 primary consciousness.
Perceiver,
in this case, namshu. Perceiver.
So do na ni lan do ro ong she dan yi she ro ti shin gu da ti shin ji shin da ong she la de tan da da thang gi thuk de na ne nga de ong she re ani chik di yi she war da mig nam ji na ji je nam ji lu ji nam she di je nga de ong bo she ba che yi ji nam she sa de da thu bo yi ji nam she se to da de zen ni na chi ro res.
Okay.
Thuk.
So ding up a wang she re ani thuk pa di yi she. So
yi ji nam she.
Wang Shi. So 5 of them are what we could describe as sense perceivers, right? Obviously the 5, like the eye, ear, nose, consciousnesses. You could say those are sense perceivers. And then the 6th one is a mental perceiver. So there's 2 divisions here, or 2 ways. This is one way of dividing into the 5 and then the 1 for the primary mind.
거기에 초와데 템보요 말해라. 어몽하고 거기에 초와대와다 초와등에 가래나 교보교보 유도 거다. 디제데 페제 레벨라 대화식 첨보요 레벨로 레벨라 숙라고라 대화식 첨보요다. 디제데 세상은 저 초와데 템보요 말해. 미기닝제부 통보이나 디기 대화대와디 로고로 유도 거래. 셰 단연보질 차대이네야. 디 교보교보 유도 거래. 디 대화디 템보요 말해. 주보주보 유어도 그래.
디 대화를 디 소어들.
소아 디 코리 소아데요.
디 코리
소아데. 소아디 제디. 디 레벨을 대화요라 수라고라 대화요 인자. 디기 대화디 템보요 말다. 람산 유르고였다.
Awesome. So the happiness that you experience due to the sensory perception is always changing, right?
Quickly changing, right?
Okay, quickly changing. And this is because it's, well, one of the reasons is because it's quickly, directly, or closely connected to the brain. So it's quickly changing what pleasure you get from a pleasant sound or a pleasant sight, visual experience. It's not stable. It's quickly changing into a different experience. So this kind of happiness that's from these sense perceptions is not stable.
세상다 이익이 대화대 땜바요. 일로 대화대. 세상데 곰자르면 아요 말다.
However, the happiness generated from the mental main mind, that's more stable, but that comes about through meditation.
세상 안에서 신의 두야데 일을 두고 그러면요. 온시가들을 두야야 말아. 일을 두고 와.
So this calm abiding is generated through this mental consciousness, not any of the other perceivers. Sorry, mental perceiver, not any of the other five perceivers.
세상다 뒤에 먼저 말한 상만 대화 책이 여러라. 내가 먼저 만샤 대화디. 원시 거지도 소화들 차제 되기다 대화 친이서 말해들래 대화라 동해라 대화 추제다 유르에 동하라. 유어도 거라 유르. 이 추제는 되기다 동해기 조보 동해 와야 돼. 아니 어디래다 간다고 원시 홍보의 유익이 대화들래 차에 인상 이제 세브레도 하다 그래.
So we all want happiness, but mostly we tend to rely on the sense perception in order to bring that about, right? And in reality, though, this sense perception is not actually happiness. It's just the suffering of change. So this kind of happiness we try and develop through these sensory objects is not a genuine sort of happiness. It's actually the suffering of change.
율리 대화도엘다 곰자다 곰나네 조금 제곰들이 인설 제곰들 망아야가 있어요. 또 조금 되게 삼바데의 시워도 소래들에 디지 용야죠. 대화 용야데 제곰 그 용고 있어요. 다와 제곰 공자윈데 지 대화제야당 이제제야당 아니 직다 똑같은데 제베였나다 믹스에 용거로 봐. 되면은 그런서 직산제당 된데라 대화 공유도 대화도 얘기 대화 제단 삼로당고도 하디 삼로마다나나 대화 연구마로 다디길래 내가 브레버지래 되래 근데 내가 곰잡 튕긴어서 곰잡이네 곰잡러다 곰잡디 베나 삼바드 템르 스탄토메나 아니 갈래 직신에게 심내 당보 심내 니와 심내 숨바 심내 시와 Sumba Shiva Dwar Letovine. And Sim the Karana Kanzam Chik Shiva Yova, the same thing like Shiva said, Deva said. Delay your arrows to Yunguisra. And then the Gom Tadi Gom Jago, the Gom Majana, Yon Marta.
So, in order to develop real happiness, we need to meditate, of course. And mostly analytical meditation is very useful, right? Because we can bring about a genuine sort of peaceful, happy mind. Because one, we can generate peaceful states of mind. The second, we can develop positive qualities like trust and faith in the Buddha and the Dharma and so forth. And this brings about a contentment, a happiness. But that only comes about, that kind of mental attitude like faith only comes about through contemplation. And then also going on that, we can meditate on stabilizing our mind, calm abiding and so forth, and slowly move up the stages 1, 2, 3, 4 of this calm abiding. And once you get to the fourth stage and beyond, then you really start to get a deeper, peaceful experience in your mind. So this is why meditation is necessary for genuine happiness.
다들 이당 이시기라 무시샤도 되지 천년 인적으로 지었다. 세부차도 그래.
Yeah. So if we're looking at the mine's 46, last paragraph, which says there are 4 possibilities between the two, mind and mental consciousness.
다 이다 이신이라 무시카레열라나 미그 넘버 쉐와 데베 이인라 이시마인베무 미그 남시저와 미그 남시디 이게 쉐와 마레스.
Okay, so with the 4 possibilities, did mushidis love mental?
제단아 무시디 제단 찍이라 찍마인베셔와 파츠잉이
Okay, so these 4 possibilities with Tibet, it's used a lot in debate, means there must be, to have four possibilities means there's something which is both, something which is A and not B, something which is B and not A, so in this case something which is mind and not mental consciousness, and something which is mental consciousness but not mind, and then something which is neither. Right? So these four possibilities are, the first one is an eye perceiver. An eye perceiver is mind, but it's not a mental consciousness.
Mental consciousness. Mental consciousness kare.
Yishi.
Are
Yi and yishi mayan.
Oh, dear. That ye in the Zosimre, that and get Zosimra.
Yep.
Mignamshi, ye in bed Jumzede, Zosimre. Mignamshi.
So why is it a mind? Because it's a main mind.
Yishi Mayende, one share Tadaro.
And why is it not a mental consciousness? Because it's a sensory perceiver. Sensory perceiver? Yeah, sensory perceiver.
Tadine Mignamshi Kotijuade, Yishi Mayimbe Much. The Yi number show Kotijuve, Toade, Yishiri, Yi Mareda.
Yi number shepherd could. Oh, sorry. So the feeling that is associated with this mind, sentience, as it's translated here. So the secondary mental factor of feeling that's associated with the sentience is a mental consciousness, but not sentience or not. Yeah.
Yimarwa.
Yimare. This translation, sentience, is unusual. Normally you just say mind, but I think he's used mind for sem. So he's just using sentience to differentiate, but more commonly you just say mind.
Then Yinamshi Kodju, Toade, Yishi individual, Yishiva Tanda, one shade and Yishi Nina, Yishira, Konshi Marwa.
So this feeling, that the secondary mental factor of feeling associated with this mind, is said to be a mental consciousness and not a sensory consciousness. Because feeling, we understand feeling is a mental consciousness, right?
Well, feeling feeling.
Okay, sorry, not feeling in general in this case. The secondary mental factor of feeling associated with this sentience.
다 이기남시 WD 다 닝가임 바더와 이기남시디 예레 이기남시 닝가로다 두고 이기남시 닝가로.
So the mental perceiver is both, because it's a sentience and it's also a mental consciousness.
다 미기남시 코르디교에 초와디 닝가 말에 예 말에 이시 말에로.
So then the secondary mental factor of feeling associated with the I consciousness is neither.
그래서나 고 조선의 말과 심중으로와 이 말과 이시 마인데 원시 임비시더라다 다다래서.
So it's not sentience, or because it's not a main mind, it's a secondary mental factor, this feeling, right? Associated with the I consciousness. I've ever lost you. And then it's not a mental consciousness, because it's associated with a sensory consciousness. Is that clear?
It's just so many different translations of the consciousness.
Yeah, okay. So just to quickly clear up this translation. Ye is known to be the same as primary mind. Normally you just say mind, right? But he's translated mind here as sem, which normally I say consciousness. So normally, in my experience, most translations say sem is consciousness and ye is mind. Right? So he's used sentience here, and that word gets a bit confusing. But
he translates as sentence.
No, he translates sem as mind, which normally I would translate as consciousness. And then Yi, I would translate as mind, but he's translated that as sentience. Okay? But you got to understand this sentience here, or when normally what I translate as mind is synonymous with this main mind. Okay, are we clear there?
이 가운데 전직시도 조심 심 이 남시 전직 디제디 인지 translate 딱다 요래. 아이 튼.
우디 노기 말해 그냥 망쳐와 디 셴버 지기래. So did 카인스는 난 성성 디 same 치탕기 consciousness 랍기래.
consciousness 디 쉐월 코 말해.
then 디 칼가부도로.
예다.
디 칼가부도로 카인스는 디 sentience. Yeah. Sheba consciousness.
The Western Shiva's consciousness like same the consciousness
yeah.
There's Shiva the similar consciousness lavina then it dicta
yeah, so I was just talking with Geshe about the translation. He said, yeah, if you use Sem as mind, then there's this other one, Shepa, which is different to. Yeah, and that's often that's commonly translated as consciousness. So the problem comes when there's no structured, this word is this translated the same way every time, right? Because the sentience is something I've never seen before, but I understand what he's doing because he needs to make a distinction. Because it's like Geshe just said, if you translate Sem as consciousness and Yi as mind, then what do you translate Shepa as? Because you can't use consciousness because it's not the same as Sem. So Shepa is not here, but it's another word that's used.
Awareness because a clear in mind.
Yeah, so yeah, so this definition of Shepa is this clearer knowing. So no, Shepa. Shepa is like the big picture. Right? So yeah.
Oh.
So you could say, generalities and particulars that we study. Yeah. Shepa is the big one for all the different types of minds, right? And then Sem is primary mind. So it's not the same because Shepa is bigger. Yeah, but it's just Ye, Sem, they're all primary mind. Yeah. They're what let's hear. So Sem, Yi. But you see, yeah. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is difficult. I think he's done a pretty good job, actually. It's hard because it's not a commonly used word. Sentience is. He's had to come up with something because we don't have enough words for mind in English, basically, right? We don't have enough. So we're trying to add these other ones in.
Mindful says mental. Mindful mentality. Does it cover that or not?
Well, Yi, is it Yi? I don't know. Yeah, then it's the same. Like Yi is. Yeah, so if men are actually mentalities. Probably better than sentience, personally, for me. That's more common. I've heard that before. I've never heard the sentience before. Yeah, but not with Shepa. No. Right. And so, anyway, we could go on about this for ages. But sorry, Gish. So you're clear though on the difference? Is it clear?
I have to think about this, but can you think about
it? Okay. All right. Okay. No, did Santanda Sabudo did Sod Sem Yi Shepa Kepa this? Konsa Tanda Hakogiduro. It's not easy. It comes clearer with time. Yeah, so even if you in the Tibetan it's not easy, and then you jumble in the translations in there, makes it more complicated.
사과도 단다 디레 Western the psychology the translator 딱다지 요새 말에 망보지 단다 consciousness 다 same to the truth 되다 파지.
Yeah, can't say nanzo di sig ding nangla sig mambo marero. Bembo nangla sig mambo yorero. You know, same. So I guess she's just saying that it's hard because the translators don't always get it exactly on the nail, and I just said, well, that's because we don't have enough words for mind, right? Like we've got a lot of words for physical things out there, but for mind we haven't got enough.
Maybe Rangja Shashana, Rangsha translator maybe sim yi namshi is lavjana diashi.
So for your own study, it's good, and I always also would say this, to learn a few of the key Tibetan words, right? So forget about, so you know yi, sim, shepa, you know these in Tibetan, then if you know that, you can, then the English won't confuse you, right? Did Sinyi Jungle get it?
Sinyi Jana ani aware. Sinyi Jana ani tenda tugumara.
Yeah, it's good to know the definition, sure, and then you get the meaning, but it's also good to know which is synonymous with which and which is the bigger, smaller, these things. Okay, so can we go back we'll go back to the four possibilities and we'll go over them again.
당보 yi said 조심 제로. 조심 said 당이 유용어 조링이 조심 자성하다.
Okay, so the first one, are we clear that mentality or sentience is yi, but not yishu? So yi is yi, but not yishu. No, yishi is mental consciousness. It's in the book here. So mentality is mentality, but not mental consciousness. Yi is yi, but not yishi. No. Not yeshi. That's something different. Yi-shi is different to yeshi. Right. Okay. Yes. So this yi, sentience or mentality, is synonymous with main mind, primary mind.
Now,
yishi is part of the six, or the two divisions, the sense consciousness and the mental consciousness.
That is mental consciousness.
So, is that clear? If you can get this.
Yishi is the sixth of the main minds, is it? The mental consciousness.
Yes. So the first one, the eye perceiver, is yi, mentality. So the eye perceiver is mentality, but not mental consciousness, because it's a sense consciousness.
So what is the Tibetan for the eye consciousness?
Mikshe.
Mikshe. No, Anshi.
No, eye consciousness.
Mikshe.
Yeah. Wangshe is sense consciousness. Sorry? Now you gotta get yi and ye is different. It's important. Yishi and yeshi are two totally different things. Yes, we're on Mikshe.
M-I-G.
Like that, yeah.
S-H-E-A.
The S is silent.
That's the reason. That Yignamshi Kodikwe Tsodi Karesana, and 이 남시지 코드 주에 초대 이시리 이 말이다.
Okay.
아 이시인데 원시다 이시니 이시들와 이 말인데 고 조세 말아 심중으로 와다고 초로 와지다. 어디 차서.
So, then the feeling accommodated with a mental perceiver is a mental consciousness but not mentality or sentience. So it's yishi but not yi. Why? Because it's first of all, it can't be a mentality or yi because it's not a primary mind. It's not a main mind, it's a secondary mental factor. But it is mental consciousness because it's the secondary mental factor associated with the mental perceiver.
That's it, Chana.
Is that clear? Yeah? It's kind of easier in Tibetan. It really is.
그래서 그 이것도 다 무시디 내가 무시고랑 샤신 게 있으면 독다디 나도 될샤고 내가 샤월로 마샤시 친구버지라 무시샤고 아니 싱그러라.
Okay, so we'll start off with a different set of four possibilities that's not with mind, something that's with external phenomena like functional things, because it'll be easier. You won't get caught up with the words.
배나 수단 카도니라로 메도단 수니라 무시샤다.
Okay, so if we take flower and form, there's four possibilities with those.
다 수인게 메도마인게 수요래. 데리 포버디.
So what's something which is a form but not a flower? So we go. Yeah, that's fine. But we were going to go cup, but sounds also good.
다 인간인이디 메도고란 샤느리라.
Yeah, and something which is both, of course, is a flower. A flower is a flower, and it's also form.
다 메도인라 수마인게 요마르다.
So
무디 요마르다.
there's nothing which is a flower but not form. So there's not four possibilities. There's only three with this.
다 인간마인게 메도마인게 수마인게 가래다. 다 망보여로.
So what's something that's neither a flower or a form? There's many. Yeah. The topa. That's fine, yeah. So that's three possibilities, right? Because there's nothing which is everything that's a flower has to be form. So do you understand how these three possibilities, four possibilities work now?
다 등기들라제 때 이당 이신이라라위나 다 다다요래. 될 무시도와 다 이디 조심나 거로와. 이실라디 아니 두고이 남시들로 거로. 원시나 이실라도 거로. 디세버서나 아니 람상 임바마임바디 여체도로.
Okay, so it's good to understand this because it comes up a lot, like these four possibilities, because you can understand what is and what isn't easier. So going back to this, there's something which is karayiyan yishimayan is this eye perceiver is an eye perceiver. Is a mentality but not a mental consciousness.
But
and then something that's a mental consciousness but not a mentality is a yishi but not a yi is the feeling accompanying a mental perceiver.
원시다 이신이세요. 원시 말하고 셰바 간시 원시 마인자 이시라고. 이 마인디 조심 말하고. 조심 마인디 심중으로 하고.
So you understand that it's a mental consciousness because it's not a sense consciousness, right? So it's either sense consciousness, mental consciousness. It's in mental consciousness, right? So that's why it's a mental consciousness, but it's not a yi because it's not a main mind, it's a secondary mental factor. Is that clear? And then something which is both which is the mental perceiver itself.
단 인가 마인게 원슈코드 주에 초들에 원슈코드 주에 초디 이에 말이 이시에 말이.
And something which is neither the feeling
포버디 샤나데리 렐라지샤나.
The feeling associated with the I, the sentimental factor of feeling associated with the I perceiver would be one example, right? There's something that is neither. The secondary mental factor of feeling, okay, 5 omnipresent mental factors, yeah, feeling, right? The secondary mental factor of feeling that is associated with the I consciousness is neither, because it's a secondary mental factor, so it's not a primary mind, and it's not a mental consciousness because it's a I consciousness. It's a sense consciousness.
Would it mean that the I consciousness is a pleasant or non-pleasant feeling?
We're getting into a whole other tangent here,
Yeah,
but
so that I understand.
okay. But I'll just finish translating, then I'll ask. But you could posit something like a cup, or anything that's not a mind will be easier to understand. That's an example.
안토 디 군소 디 뷰다게 고션디 개주치고.
Okay. So the question is, what is this? Is this feeling associated with an I consciousness? Is that the feeling of pleasant or unpleasant when you see something visually? So the mikshe to ko jongwe so the pekarere mikshe latini.
저디라 민나 텔라제도 나기도 자기도 믹 자기도 디 초 영화들이 필링 미시코드 주에 초여로 민나 텔라버디 믹 자기도 디리다
영화 디 제보도 ninje보도
근데 용거라 근데
대화 연결에 디초 디레 대화
때 사제 대화 여러 가지라 대화 여러 여러
yeah. So this, you could have the feeling could be an example of some irritation in the eye, or you could say happiness that comes when you see something pleasant, or unhappiness, or equanimity, like when you see something like whatever, that you're just not even interested in, like this.
조심 나 원래 된 거래. 조심이나 코드주에 초입에 캬르다. 단도 군동한테 연구로 와. 조심이나 코드주에 초입에 캬고요.
So if there's a primary mind, then there's necessarily the secondary mental factor of feeling associated with that, because it's part of the 5 omnipresent mental factors.
제가 어디로 와? 당연히 디그리 다 심중으로 심중으로.
So now we go to secondary mental factors. So we're moving on.
라유이 켜바지르지 마스다 제가 당기디 조심디 ngol 샤송아 다 심중디 켜바르치기도 라유이 켜바지르지메 란다 총딩이 조심 가르 코드 주에 리바 심중 진이래다 배낭저 단다 초월 자샤위너래 초와디기 켜바 가르치고서 녀와치고로 녀 야고면도 대어면도 저 책이요라고 유일의 책이요 유진이가 켜바르 책이요로 딘데 다 간다 유기 켜바르지 빼나간저 매도 당기데 매도디 닝제부터 라야 될라야 둠바 용거로 와 둠바게 참 둠바 메바 띵인지 맞아 템바 메바 둠바 소소 군중아데 디요로 소와 뒤시 셈바 렉바 일레 채워서 어디에 가로 배나 초와디 연구여와 초와디 켜바 채울 때 유기 켜바 채워 배나 당고 배나 메도디 야구도 둠바고여라 둠바 율디 둠바
discrimination
둠바디게니 켜바 채고 연구로 제가 니즈다 심중도 상관로게 유디 켜바 채고였다 켜바 단다조 데려다 간다.
So the definition of mental factor is a know which apprehends any of the features of the object and accompanies whatever main mind has similarity with it. So this word features could be aspects, or you could even say specifics. So to give an example, this experience of feeling that comes along with it comes from recognizing something through discrimination, which is another of the omnipresent mental factors, this discrimination. So by recognizing the aspects of it, then you say, oh, it's good or bad, like the flower's nice, pleasant, and then you get a feeling associated with that, right? So these five are always present with any primary. So we'll get into that later.
나 데다 조심 데다 심중이라 저거 가려요. 단기 조심 코드 중에 심중 연구를라고도 조심 연구 코드 중에 초 연구를 두시 연구를 선바 연구를 버디 군동아디 연구를라고도 와서 디나네 조심다 심중이 저와 군이 간데 저와 간데요. 슬라비나 델라야다 최종아요래서 최종아
All right, okay.
Number 2,
5 aspects of mutual similarity. So when we talk about these minds, the mind or main mind that has these mental factors associated with it. So, for example, the 5 omnipresent mental factors, feeling, discrimination, intention, mental engagement, and contact, all possess 5 aspects of mutual similarity with the main mind.
땅가데 가래라도 땡송마 미과송마 남바송마 두송마 제송마 아제 딜레다.
So they're on the similarity of basis, object of observation, aspect, time, and substantial entity.
다 땡송바데 에네 조심 땡 옹부 칸라 땡바이나 데코드 주에 심중데 어텔라 땡바레 스페낭조 믹시데 조 완실 미그남시데 네 조심데게 미완 땡그와 미고 옹불 땡그와 대tem바나시 데코드 주에 심중데게 미고 옹부텔라 땡바레 세상군이 땡송바레 땡직바레서
sense power, right? So, with this basis, they can be said in these 5 omnipresent mental factors in this example, and the primary mind of the eye consciousness, and for example, arise on the same basis, being the eye sense power. Right? So this is the same basis.
조심되게 봐 먼저 미식 조심되게 매도라면은 디코드게 초와디 심중 창문게 매도를 믿기요 딱 한다. 미고 총벌.
Yeah. So then the observed object, so we in the eye consciousness observing a flower, the primary eye consciousness observes the flower, and then the mental eye consciousness arises, and this is the object of observation for both.
다 넘버에 다
secondary mental factors, sorry.
다 숨바데 넘버 가르스나 조심데 매도 가버디 넘버야 샤스나 디코드 주에 심중디게 찾아 매도 가베 넘버야 샤도요.
So then the aspect, so like the aspect would be like a white flower for the primary mind of the eye consciousness, and also the associated secondary mental factors.
다 시와 뒤숭바데 조심 가도 있게베나 디코드 주에 심중디게 게용 거다.
두나.
두냐.
So whenever a primary mind arises, the mental factors associated with that mind arise simultaneously.
다디 제릭직세야데 데세단데 데멘다여 단다델데 디디 코데버도 디시에샤나 조심다서 코르심중나 제릭직 개발데 체네 개발해서래 다 녜랭으로 녜랭게 제릭직을 되네 개발해서 티코레 단다 제릭직미 제직디 베나 조심데 옹보디 간저 테마타겐 되네 지그로 테마타겐데 주에 셔바 알로 테마타겐을 되네 지그로 테마타겐데 아니 직벌에 테마타겐게 셔바 찍을 때네 네 원시 디 조심데다 디코디 주에 심중디 제데 테마타겐 찍을 때네 개와 인자 아니 제 직벌에서 다 제릭 직벌에서 데 페젠디 코디아도
So this substantial entity, same substantial entity, there's a little bit of different ways of expressing this, but to put it in a clearer kind of simple way, you can say that the primary mind and the associated mental factors are produced by the same supporting conditions, and then therefore they're of the same substantial entity, zerig chig, rig, or the same substance type would also be a more clear way of saying they're of the same substance type, but the zechik mare.
Zechik shao,
Zechik and zechik.
Zechik yin, when zechik la, denjik, zechik, Sunday namanga zon zechik yin la. Zechik be 20 taran re, tanda kapti, nyelen zechik li kiba yin zan zechik la.
Zechik and zechik.
Tanda kapti zechik de la.
Okay, so in this case, in this instance, same entity and same substance and same substantial entity or same substance.
Zechik ba yin ba tsungba re es, da tsungba re es ba, kunyi tsungba re es, ze tsungba se da. Ze tsungba, ze dawa, zechik ba.
So yeah, they have the same same type or like type, likeness type, or something like this, right? There's the same meaning. They have this, but they're basically the same substance.
Chizan tanda diri penang zo zosim penang tanda wanshi le kona lelha yore rwa. Zo teptongbe mikshi di toyin di kodi yuwe tsowa di dan mikshi di nyinga di zechik le dine gewa yinzang zechik le dine gewa yinzang nyelen temata genchik le gene gewa yinzang ze tsungba res. Ze tade le dine gega mara zechik le dine gewa res di tsungba res lo.
So the same supporting condition like this. So for the I consciousness and the feeling associated with it, they come up. The supporting condition is the same. The wangshire. So in this case, is the I.
Temata gen ne gyora wangshire. Temata gen sum yora mi gen ta gen temata gen di shewar ba. Shewe zejig le ne gyewa inzan ze chung bare sa tirida.
So there's the observed object condition, the empowering condition, and then there's the associated condition, right? Is that right? Immediately preceding condition. Temata di wangshire.
Marama temata gen wangshi gyuri.
Oh. So this immediately preceding condition is the cause for the the sense power. Sorry, I made that mistake there. Wangshi, yeah, the sense power. Sorry, no, sense perceiver, not sense power. That's wrong as well. Sense perceiver. So there's immediately preceding, I'll just retranslate that. The immediately preceding condition is the cause for the sense perceiver. So, yeah.
Oh, there. Tadine Kundunga da Yunga the Jimmy drilling channel Yagarta de Skiran's drilling channel.
So if you talk about these 5 omnipresent mental factors and these things, it's good if you go over it in the discussion.
How many weeks we live? 2, 3 weeks? 2 weeks. And then third one you test, isn't it? And then the week Tangbodilla Kundunga de Yago drilling Doshan de.
So the first week you can do the 5 omnipresent mental factors.
And it's never de la Yungengadi. Kundunga Yungengadi.
Then the second one is the 5 objects, 5 determining factors. So.
This and I wear meeting is Tanglan Terra, Tanglan Tene, and Tambo, Ma Tanda de shit, and a drilling chair, Tambola, Trambona drilling my chair. The ma because of the chick me see na me ni chen de ro de Ade Tiranzo Tanglan Tena war Tanglan Tenra.
No explanation.
No explanation chinyi de Tanglan volunteer cheje.
Yeah, so it's good if somebody can start giving with some sort of explanation of what these things are before engaging in a discussion, and then after that you can go into so if there's 4 people you can.
Kanda mi Tiranzo Tanglan kazu tenye na Tiranzo kazu tena delbagwe ne bingugi. Mi choyo na mi sum se mi she na mi ni se mi ni na bi jik so shan da ro. And
so you can divide it into like groups. If there's 2 weeks, you can divide it into groups of 2. And so the first week, then the mi sum di talent chero. So the first week, 3 people can do some explanation, right? Between them.
No.
I don't understand.
The people 6 people voluntarily you can do 3. 4 people voluntarily, 2 people and 1. And nothing say you do, just voluntarily.
Oh, okay, I see. I get it.
You got now?
Yeah. I missed the volunteer part.
어디 제가 간다디 당고디 군종아들이 아니 디 저런도 대시 디나라 제보시라면은 니마던다디 심심중 베제디나라 제보요 윤진 부조 전부 윤지 이시견쟁게 심중 업중 아직 되어져 딩고만 먼저 코스도 팀마카시 도서 디나라 대시 제보요 베제디로나 디그레스.
So we have a text that we studied before, but it's a Geshe
윤지 부조 no 가지 이시견제.
Sorry, sir?
5160, you know. Simsim.
Yeah, the mind and mental factors. I'm just not clear on the author, but it's the one we studied before.
이시견제.
이시견제.
So
it's very clear in there, and you can use that as like a reference point.
Yeah, you covered this. 네 가와체나 아니 먼저 로릭 차상 가와체 찼다.
If you sort that out, then that sorts lorik out. Sorry, awareness and knowers.
다 기승에 딜라야 쳔바. 신유당 나유 주유디 롭지지 라는디 개천 버려라.
Okay, so then if we look at the other object and the appearing object and the engaging object, it's good to clarify these.
단다 유제시에 자르와. So
we've talked about the object possessor. Now we're talking about the object.
다 유들라 낭유 송유 낭유다 송유 직발에 낭유스는 배낭한서 미시들라 메도 미시디기 메도지메 미시디 낭유 메도레로 디 메도디 송유리 낭유리 닝가레 어디 나네리 보죠.
So this appearing object and apprehended object, they're the same. So for an eye consciousness perceiving a flower, the appearing object and the object of apprehension are both flower.
다드네 베제나는 주유세죠. 주유디 유 튼두 똑바 튼두단 참말하면서 매로지 딜러 코나 야가요. 나 똑바 차와 유디 로딜러 주버.
Okay, so
가시에게 로 탐제라 주유 샤그레 대샤나 슝카실 저자토 말에 제가 시작하고요. 제가한테 유 죽바스디 로디 배낭한좀 메도진 베미시디 메도를 주고도 갖고 주고에 된다 그래서는 메도 똑바나시 태어나 내기도 어디래.
Okay, so this object of engagement is basically that which is realized. So in different texts there's different explanations, and some of them are a bit convoluted or complicated, but you can understand it in the way that it's the object that is engagement is the object that's realized or gets the meaning or gets the gets tonlanye is to basically get the meaning of the object.
다 주유잖아. 나 신유라데. 신유자데 똑바로면서 요말 신유.
And then this other object is only there for conceptual consciousness.
그래서나 먼저 다 기생 똑베 친이 조인 봐. 똑베 친이 가래서나 다든 되는 좀 신릭라고. 다든 되는 좀 신릭스도 하잖아.
So for this definition of a conceptual consciousness, it's, I mean, must may not be exact, but it's the other knower that understands through the meaning generality. Sorry, Drata said the sound generality.
제가 이 독배 유진의 독배가 나와줘라. 튼지디 균이다. 진고 요인자 아니 시릭스야데 독발라면서 나와디 나와 균이면서 돼야데 매인자 아니 독발라면서 신유 요말다.
So basically this other object is like the meaning generality, right? Or the generic image. So other than conceptual consciousnesses, they don't. Other than conceptual consciousness, other consciousness don't have this other object, this meaning generality.
먼저 딜라 요마라 무슨데줄라 네 신야 요마라 무슨 카둑 통구다 그 유고야 요마라.
So yeah, because like an eye consciousness perceiving something doesn't go through another object like the meaning, it goes directly, perceives it directly.
그래서 신유세 되고 신도 나와 또 똑바되게 튼지 나와의 유년이 유를 주고요라고 나와의
So this going through other object means like through the appearance, by the appearance of something, it then engages with the object.
난 똑바들라 링이요래 직직이 그 점바잠을 제메시 유를 죽두고요 말이로 배낭한서 딜라위나 가르 공부 점바이나 똑바디 가르 공부 점바래 똑바디 가르 공부를 죽여요 말아 가르 공부요 말아.
Okay. So you can have two types of conceptual consciousness, one that merely holds the object and one that actually engages with the object. So an example. Yeah, this is not in the text. We're talking about the objects for the appearing object, object of engagement, other object.
그것도 할 때 열 유.
열
고고고래. 고고고래.
We have to go back, way back.
유진 세대였다. 유진이도.
Let me see if I can find this.
네.
Well, now I got.
랑루라스 유진이네스 동문의 르르 버쳐 유진이 유라예나 나유 신유 조유 남편직서.
Page 8.
랑루.
Yeah, where's okay? I'm just trying to find. Oh, I think I've got a different text.
This way is page 8.
Page 8 to Sandro.
Yeah, I got a different page number. I got a different text.
Yeah,
it's going. Well, it's going over something that we've covered.
You found? 어디래 랑루라 유진이 레스거다. 네 기승만 내라고 임바디 제일 셰고.
Okay.
beginning. 기승만 대화 자요 말아.
Objects. Neuron system. Definition of I got it. Okay. Yeah. Appearing object. Yep. So.
제도. 그래서 기승 랑루라스 유진이 레스 당문의 르르고 차와스 유라예나 나유 신유 조유 남석도데 어디 시골다.
So it goes over concerning the first in our own system concerning the first among the two, object and object possessor. The definition of object is that which is known by an awareness. When objects are divided, there are appearing objects, determining objects, and objects of engagement. Shen is actually literally other, but here it's determining object.
됐다 신유도 봐 신유스나 어다 됐다 간다 대세 잡살다 다 지어서 나유하고서가 주유하고서가 신유하고서가
okay.
어다라래.
So now if you can understand these, then this is the explanation. If you know what an appearing object and a determining object and the object of engagement is. So going back to what Yeshua said before, there's consciousness, conceptual minds that can hold an object without engaging with it. For example, a conceptual mind thinking about a blue snow mountain can hold its object, but it can't actually engage with it because there's no such thing as a blue snow mountain. It doesn't exist. So you can't engage with something that doesn't exist, but you can hold on to it, right? Like you can imagine anything, but you can only engage with it if it actually exists. That's it. So we stop here.
Page 31. Jetsun la me kutse raten, jing nan ka chin le, cho chu ge padang, lo san ten pe chon me sa sun gi, cho we mun se ta tu ne gyu chi. Idam Guru Rana Mandala Kanyachayami. Due to the merit of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all living beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the supreme jewel bodhicitta that has not arisen arising grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish but increase more and more. Whatever slight positive potential I may have created, by paying homage, offering, and acknowledging my faults, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddhas stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for full awakening. I dedicate all these roots of virtue with the dedication praises the best, by the victorious ones thus gone of the 3 times, so that I might perform the noble bodhisattva's deeds. May the king of Dharma, Sangha's way of Dharma practice flourish. May the omens of obstacles be pacified, and all the conducive circumstances be complete. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. Savior of the snowland teachings and transmigratory beings, who makes extremely clear the path that is unification of emptiness and compassion, to the lotus holder Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. You who uphold the subduous moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjanath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplish magnificent prayers honoring the 3 jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please live long. By relying on the 2 accumulations of myself and others in the 3 times, may the teachings of the conqueror Losang Dragpa blaze for a long time.